Presented by Listen Headlines. Latest financial news from trusted sources.
Forex Live. November 14, 1916 America New York. Heads up for two RBA speakers due at the bottom of the hour. The Reserve Bank of Australia's Lucy Ellis, Assistant Governor, Economic, and Bradley Jones, Head of Economic Analysis, speak in front of the Australian Parliament's House of Representatives Standing Committee on Tax and Revenue. Stay tuned for any remarks on their economic and/or policy outlooks. Forex Live. November 14, 1914 America New York. UK private sector employers expect to raise staff pay only 2.5% over the next year. Reuters report on figures via the Chartered Institute of Personnel and Development, CIPD. The slow rate of pay rises is not likely to fuel the inflation rate perhaps as much as was expected. Forex Live. November 14, 1906 America New York. Japan Q3 preliminary GDP minus 0.8% Q, expected minus 0.2%. Japanese third quarter growth data Q3 GDP, preliminary, exports minus 2.1% Q. The first fall in 5 quarters graph does not include today's data yet, but it's back under the zero line for a contraction.
BBC News Business. November 14, 1905 America New York. No turkey shortage, says British Poultry Council. There will be turkeys for Christmas, the industry says, but producers warn there will be less variety. BBC News Business. November 14, 1905 America New York. Charities facing a perfect storm as demand rises. Research given to the BBC reveals hundreds of charities face rising demand for services this winter. BBC News Business. November 14, 1905 America New York. Real living wage rises to £9.90 an hour. More than 300,000 people at firms accredited with the Living Wage Foundation will get the increase.
Global Economy. November 14, 1901 America New York. UK government's Levelling Up program undermined by new research. Study shows productivity will improve through investment in stronger companies rather than weaker ones.
Daily FX Market News. November 14, 1900 America New York. Australian dollar eyes Chinese economic data. Will AUD/USD react? AUD/USD is in focus as investors keep an eye out for Chinese economic data that will shed light on China's slowing economic recovery. Meanwhile, Japanese GDP crossed the wires this morning.
New York Times Business. November 14, 1859 America New York. Japan's economy shrinks, but outlook is warm as virus ebbs. The coronavirus and supply chain issues stymied growth in the third quarter, but high vaccination rates and low numbers of virus cases point to a recovery. The Japanese economy has been stuck in a cycle of expansion and contraction, ebbing and flowing with the virus's waves.
Armstrong Economics. November 14, 1839 America New York. At least Sleepy Joe is good entertainment. The post At least Sleepy Joe is good entertainment first appeared on Armstrong Economics.
Marginal Revolution. November 14, 1836 America New York. What price the blue plaque? In many places commemorative plaques are erected on buildings to serve as historical markers of notable men and women who lived in them. London has a blue plaque scheme for this purpose.
Forex Live. November 14, 1825 America New York. RBNZ rate hikes on the way, sooner and higher. Analysis on the Reserve Bank of New Zealand OCR track ahead via Kiwi Bank. This in brief from a more detailed note, but say the analysts, market pricing for the extent of hikes is likely overdone. Forex Live. November 14, 1759 America New York. Weekend. Japan's next economic stimulus package to exceed 40 trillion yen. Kyoto with the report over the weekend on what's expected from PM Kishida's new spending plan later this week. Kyo citing sources close to the matter said Friday.
The Library of Economics and Liberty. November 14, 1749 America New York. Reading Hayek in graduate school. About a month ago, economists on Facebook were talking about whether Friedrich Hayek's classic 1945 article, The Use of Knowledge in Society, was taught in many Ph.D.
Forex Live. November 14, 1735 America New York. Putin said Belarus cutting Russian natural gas flows to Europe would harm relations. Late last week, Belarusian President Alexander Lukashenko threatened to retaliate against any new European Union sanctions against Minsk over a migrant standoff on the Belarus-EU border. Forex Live. November 14, 1722 America, New York. Goldman Sachs says gold well placed for a boom path to $2,000. Video interview. Via Bloomberg. Site is NASDAQ. A video interview with Goldman Sachs head of energy research. Some commentary on Zhao. Link is here. Gold is set for boom.
Armstrong Economics. November 14, 1714 America, New York. Private blog. The Fed, QE and interest rates, the real story. Private blog. The Fed, QE and AMP. Interest rates, the real story. Private blog posts are exclusively available to Socrates subscribers. To sign up for Socrates or to learn more, please visit ask-socrates.com.
Forex Live. November 14, 1655 America, New York. U.S. Trees Sect Yellen says on inflation. It really depends on the pandemic. U.S. Treasury Secretary Yellen spoke on CBS, Face the Nation. As did Minneapolis Fed President Neil Kashkari and, further. Forex Live. November 14, 1650 America, New York. Trade Ideas Thread. Monday the 15th of November 2021. Good morning, afternoon and evening all. Any charts, technical analysis, trade ideas, thoughts, views, Forex Live traders would like to share and discuss with fellow Forex Live traders, please do so. Forex Live. November 14, 1649 America, New York. New Zealand Services PMI for October 44.6, prior 46.9. Business NZ Performance of Services Index, PSI, falls for the month, lockdown impacted. BNZ remarks. Reopening steps in NZ's largest city of Auckland should help the November result, but for now, this is disappointing. Forex Live. November 14, 1642 America, New York. Morgan Stanley say risks for GBP are skewed for higher, and what is needed to send it up. Commentary from MS on cable. Check out EFX Plus. Forex Live. November 14, 1606 America, New York. U.S. Senate Leader Schumer urges Biden to release SPR to bring down gas prices. Schumer has said U.S. President Biden should release gasoline from the U.S. Strategic Petroleum Reserve. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer was speaking at a news conference in New York.